going on, man? Let's get this shit started. Classic session. We help y'all try to get some money today. We got 15 games going on today. A lot of playoff scenarios, so you definitely want to pay attention to who you pick. Do me in mind that I do make 200 to 300 bets a day. That's roughly $300 a day. So if you only spending $20 to $30 a day, you feel me? You want to be strategic with what you pick. You got to make sure that you confident that the team that you gonna pick is gonna win. You feel what I'm saying? But let's get into it. Cincinnati versus Pittsburgh. Cincinnati minus 194. Pittsburgh plus 162. The last 10 games, Cincinnati is 5-5. They lost the last 2 games. Pittsburgh is 3-7. They lost the last 2 games. Cincinnati versus Pittsburgh. Cincinnati has won 12 out of 16 games. So factor that in on your own. You feel me? Me personally, I'm going with Pittsburgh. Cincinnati has nothing to lose. They lost everything. They're out the playoffs. Pittsburgh is playing for pride. They're at home. This is the last series of the season, and I'm definitely gonna go. The run line is 8.5. I'm definitely gonna go over. The pitchers tonight is Luis Castillo and Will Crowe. Both of them are giving up more than 4 runs a game, and that's 8 runs right there. So you got to factor in that they're, what do you call it? The pitchers, the relief pitchers, they aren't any better. So you definitely want to go over 8.5. Let's go Boston versus Washington. Boston minus 188. Washington plus 158. The run line is 9. Boston in the last 10 games is 5-5, and they lost the last game. Washington is 4-6. They lost the last 2 games. So you feel me? That should just tell you, Boston is the better team. Boston is 13-4 against National League teams. Washington is 10-7 against American League teams. This is an interleague game. These 2 teams are in different leagues, so remember that as well. The run line, like I say, is 9. The pitchers we have pitching today is Eduardo Rodriguez. He's 11-8 with a 4.93 ERA, which means he gives up about 5 runs a game. You got Josh Rogers, 2-1, 2.73 ERA, which means he gives up less than 3 runs a game. Those 2, if you add those up, that's roughly 7 runs. The run line is 9. Boston needs to win because they are trying to get into the playoffs. Washington is playing for nothing. So I'm going to go for the upset because I need Toronto to get in the playoffs. And in order for that to happen, I need Boston to lose. So I'm going to go with Washington at plus 158. And on the run line, I'm going to go under 9. All right, the next game we got Tampa Bay versus New York. Tampa Bay at plus 108. New York is minus 126. Pitching today for Tampa Bay, we got Shane McClanahan, 10-6, 3.44 ERA. And for New York, we got Nestor Cortez, 2-2, 2.85 ERA. That's under 5. That's under 6 runs right there between those 2 pitchers. Tampa Bay has already won the division already. New York is playing to get in the playoffs. They are currently 2 games up in the playoffs, so currently they are in the wild card. So they need to win. The run line is 9. I will go under on that. Definitely will go under. Boston, and I'm tweaking, excuse me. Tampa Bay. I need Tampa Bay personally to win, so I would definitely go with Tampa Bay at plus 108. So, because New York, I need them to lose for Toronto to get in the playoffs. So my pick is Tampa Bay plus 108. I know it might seem strange that I pick all the teams as plus, and that's why my money be looking like, but hey, you never know, niggas win. Baltimore versus Toronto. Baltimore plus 290. Toronto negative 360. The run line is 10. In the last 10 games, Toronto is 5-5. They have lost the last game. In the last 10 games, Baltimore is 3-7. They won the last game. What's calling me? Let's get that off my screen. Baltimore plus 290. Now look, I need Toronto to win, but that plus 290 is too beautiful to me. And Toronto can be janky at times. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm not going to touch that because that's just me personally. I don't like to bring bad karma to my team. So what I do is I fuck with the run line. The run line is 10. And the pitchers we have tonight pitching is Tom Eshelman. He's 0-2. He has a 7.2 ERA. That means he's going to give up some runs. Steven Matz, 13-7, 3.88 ERA. He's a pretty good pitcher. He's a strikeout artist. Toronto has all their line. They has a full lineup tonight. Baltimore has a few people in there. I'm definitely going to go over 10 on this run line. Yeah, I don't pick against my team. So between Baltimore and Toronto, I honestly would tell you to pick Toronto, but you wouldn't make any money. So that's not a good, smart pick. But if you were underdog better, you better pick Baltimore. Anyway, next game, Philadelphia versus Miami. Philadelphia at minus 104, Miami minus 112. The run line is under 6.5. I don't know why it's set that low. I have to see who's pitching for tonight. For Philadelphia, we have Ranger Suarez, 7-5, 1.45 ERA. Miami, we have Sandy Alcantara. He's 9-14 with a 3.9 ERA. So now I understand why the run line is so low. These are some great pitchers pitching tonight. So I definitely still would pick over because for some reason, when the good pitchers always pitch, the relievers seem to give up 3-4 runs. And 3-4 runs on both of those sides and the starting pitchers give up 1 or 2, that's 9 runs. They got it set for 6.5. I'm not gonna lie, I can't risk it. I need that over. So go over with Philadelphia and Miami. In the last 10 games, what do we have for Philly and Miami? Both of the teams are 6-4. Both of them are currently won the last game. This is a new series, so they just play other people, so that's why it's possible for both teams to be winning 1 game apiece. If you want to pick a team, I will go with Philadelphia. That's my choice. I will go with Philadelphia. Next game, New York Mets versus Atlanta. New York Mets plus 104. Atlanta minus 122. The run line is 8.5. We got pitching tonight. Tyler Miguel, 3.6, 4.7 ERA. We got Hanser Yuna, 4.5, 3.9 ERA. Right there, that's 8 runs. And they got the run line set for 8. So I will go over with that. I will risk that. If you want to pick a team between the Mets and Atlanta, the Mets are 8-8, so they're even. So that's kind of iffy. That's why I fuck with the run line on this game, because when teams are iffy, it can mess your parlay up because you don't know really who's gonna win. Definitely go plus 104. But Atlanta is trying to win their division comfortably. I believe they already succeeded at that, so they're not playing for nothing. So I definitely will go play with the Mets at plus 104. Yes, I've chosen 4 pluses, but sometimes 7 pluses win. Cleveland versus Texas. Cleveland minus 118, Texas plus 100. The run line is set to 9. Who we have pitching tonight? Eli Morgan. He's 4-7, 5.2 ERA. Drew Anderson for Texas. He's 1-1, 3.43 ERA. That right there is 8 runs. The line is set to 9. I want to just go. I'm just gonna say go over only because it's the end of the season, and I think niggas is just trying to get their stats up. They playing for contracts still, you feel me? Nobody's trying to really chalk it up, especially if you're on a losing team. One thing I tell you, nobody's trying to chalk it up on a losing team because they still playing for a contract. Because as soon as the season over with, it's time to get that ass cut if you're weak. So be mindful of that. I will ride with Texas because I believe that they're playing harder. Texas has lost 100 games already, and a lot of their players are playing for contracts. So I would think that they will try to win much harder. Texas at plus 100, and I'll go under on the run line at 9 because Eli Morgan probably is going to pitch a good game. Detroit versus Chicago White Sox. Detroit at plus 230. White Sox at negative 280. The run line is set to 8.5. Who we have pitching for them tonight? For Detroit, we got Willie Peralta. He's 4-4 with a 3.08 ERA. Then we got Lance Lynn, 10-6 with a 2.72 ERA. The White Sox versus Detroit, they are 10-6. The Sox are 10-6. They won 10 out of 16 games. They've won the last 4 games. Be mindful of that. Detroit has won the last 1. Me personally, I'm going with Detroit just because I want to go to Detroit to go get some more money. So I'm always going to ride with them. They have not let me down this season, even though they have a losing record. Seems like on the days I bet with them, they win. Lance Lynn is a great pitcher, so please be mindful of that. The run line is set to 8.5. I will go under. This game probably is going to be like a 3-2 game, some shit like that. 4-3, anything like that. Yeah, so I'm going with Detroit, plus 230. The smart bet will actually be the Sox. Since I've already chosen 4 pluses already, I will start to choose teams that I actually know is going to win. But that's the smart choices, Sox. I'm choosing the Detroit. Oakland versus Houston. Oakland at plus 120, Houston at negative 142. The run line is set to 8.5. Houston is 9-7 versus Oakland. The last 10 games for Houston are 5-5. The last 10 for Oakland, they're 3-7. They lost 3 games in a row. Houston has already made it to the playoffs, but they're playing for the division right now, so they need to continue to win because Seattle hasn't lost. Oakland has been eliminated from the playoffs, so they are playing spoiler. Me, honestly, I'm going to go with Houston. I don't think Oakland has what it takes. I've lost all my money. Not all my money. I've lost a lot of money betting over with Oakland, and they have a lot of good hitters, but they seem to let me down all the time. And the run line is set to 8.5, so I'm going to go under 8.5 with that game. The next game we have is the Minnesota Twins versus the Kansas City Royals. Pitching for them tonight, Minnesota, John Gant, 5-10, 3.74 ERA. John Hazley, 0-1, 3.86 ERA. That right there is equal 7 runs. The run line is set to 9. I don't know. Both teams have all their hitters playing tonight. They're both playing for pride. Kansas City is 9-7 against Minnesota. They both 6-4 in their last 10 games, and they both lost 1. I'm personally going to ride with Kansas City. That's just me. Kansas City is a good choice. If you want to go on a run line, I will go over. These 2 teams have great hitters on their teams. The run line is set for 8.5. Their pitchers equal up to 7. So you have to do all of these calculations when you bet. The next game we have Chicago Cubs versus the St. Louis Cardinals. We got the Cubs set for plus 154, St. Louis minus 184. The run line is set to 8.5. We got pitching for them tonight. Albert Alzolay. No, I'm saying it wrong. Alzolay, yeah, now I remember. 5-13, 4.6 ERA. We got Dakota Hudson at 1-0, 4.91 ERA. That's 9 runs right there. The run line is set to 8. I will go over just because that's just a smart bet. If you want to bet on the team, I would bet with St. Louis. I wouldn't even play around. I know it's set to 184, but I've already chosen a certain amount of pluses, and I believe that St. Louis is going to take care of business against the Cubs. The St. Louis against the Cubs is 9-7, which is kind of surprising to me. But St. Louis in the last 10 games, they are 9-1. They're coming off a 17-game winning streak. And yes, they got me a lot of money. I was riding that wave the whole time. Fuck you talking about. The Cubs are 5-5. They won the last game, whoever they played against. I definitely choose St. Louis on that game. Next, we have Milwaukee versus the LA Dodgers. Milwaukee at plus 198. LA Dodgers at minus 240. Milwaukee versus LA this year. Milwaukee is actually 3-1 against the Dodgers. So that means they won the last 4-game series. In the last 10 games, Milwaukee is 4-6. They lost 2. The Dodgers are 8-2. They won 4 in a row. Let's see. Get that. I would actually go with the Dodgers on this one because they're still trying to win a division. That would be a great choice. They won the last 4 in a row. Milwaukee has already clinched their division. They're not really playing for nothing. They don't really care anymore. So that's just be a smart bet. The run line is set for 10. I would go under too many runs. If they score 10, that's cool. If I lose my money with that, that's cool. But under 10, it's always a smart bet. Because we have pitching for them tonight, it's Eric Luer. He's 7-5, 293. ERA, that's under 3. And Clayton Kershaw, 10-8, 3.3, 38 ERA. That's rounded off, that's 3. 6 runs, under 10, you feel me? They have great relief pitchers, as y'all know, if you know about it. And the last game we have is the Los Angeles Angels versus Seattle Mariners. At Los Angeles Angels at plus 136, Seattle at minus 162. The run line is set for 7.5. I will go over. This is the last series of the season, like I said, playing for pride. I will pick Seattle. Seattle's trying to make the playoffs. They have a great record. Excuse me. That would be a great bet. So that's pretty much the best for MLB. If there's any other games on today, I definitely will make another video. It will be on IGTV. Thank you for listening. Let's try to get some money, man.